Selling on Amazon is passive income, right? Right? Well, wrong. And pretty much anyone who's ever built an Amazon brand, agency, or aggregator would tell you that that statement is factually incorrect. The only place anyone's going to tell you that is on a Facebook ad of a YouTube guru who's sipping a cocktail on the beach, who's probably never actually seen success on Amazon before. Now, it is true, when it comes to building a physical products brand, Amazon is an amazing place to get started. Amazon have already built the customer trust. Amazon are the ones driving customers to their website. Amazon handle all of the storage and fulfillment so that you don't need to worry about that. They handle a lot of the customer support. They've got pre-structured listings that are optimized for one-click conversion. I mean, when you compare building a brand on Amazon to D2C or actually physical stores, Amazon almost seems plug and play. But this is both a blessing and a curse in disguise. While Amazon entrepreneurs might be able to grow to 100K, 500K, even $1 million of revenue using Amazon's gamified system for building brands, it always catches up to them that being an Amazon seller is building a real business. And real businesses have no shortcuts. If you want to be able to scale, you need to have systems and fundamental infrastructure in place to allow that. And that's the biggest problem the e-commerce industry is facing right now, is the lack of systems and process across Amazon brands, Amazon agencies, and Amazon aggregators, and everyone's feeling it. My name is Ellie Lipsartz, or Lippy as everyone calls me. I'm the co-founder of Escala, and we're on a mission to professionalize the e-commerce space. Over the last 2.5 years, we've worked with over 100 of the best Amazon brands, agencies, and aggregators to help them build their internal systems and process for scale and try to combat this massive problem that we're seeing in the Amazon industry. During that time, we've customized an EY McKinsey style of consulting solution to the e-commerce space, which we're really proud of. But today, for the first time, we're excited to democratize that knowledge to the entire e-commerce industry and present to you the Escala course. Now, you might say, and you would be right, how are you going to offer systemization solutions through a digital course when every business is so different from one another? Even Amazon private label businesses that share a lot of DNA from one to the next are very different when you take a closer look. But the truth is that we're seeing the same problem in the Amazon industry over and over and over again, and we've developed a proven methodology to fix this problem and set businesses up for scale that we're excited to share with you. We're giving away all of our templates, all of our secrets, all of our ways of working so that you can set your business up for scale. So let's take a look at what that problem actually is. We call it the Amazon Seller Hero Journey. So it all starts as a side hustle as a solopreneur. You probably heard that Amazon is a great source of passive income. You design a physical product, you launch it on Amazon, and you see that initial success. You experience what it's like to get that first sale, to hit 10K a month for the first time, to hit 100K a month for the first time. And all of a sudden, you quit your full-time job, you transition to a full-time Amazon seller, and you look to accelerate that growth. So you probably look to launch your second and third physical product. You might even consider hiring, but then very quickly you become a victim of success. So what we call the Amazon treadmill, where there's just too much to do. And one of the key things in Amazon is that you can't go out of stock. So you can't slow that treadmill down, sort of that hamster wheel. You're running very quickly, but you're not necessarily running forward. And it all stems back to that you built this brand as if it was going to be a side hustle, as if it was just going to be passive income. And all of a sudden, you've got a real business on your hand that requires real attention, real systems, real process if you want to scale. And at this point, you're probably starting to feel like your time is getting out of your control. Everything's urgent, the world is on fire, everything needs your immediate attention, and you have 3 options, and you don't really have any other options other than these 3. You can either automate, you can delegate, or you can implode. And a lot of the time, implode means selling. That's something that happened recently over the past few years, that Amazon brands got out of control. And all of a sudden, running these brands was extremely stressful, so they imploded and they sold for valuations that were a lot lower than they could have demanded. But the truth is that there is another option that almost prolongs these 3 options, and it's to hire for urgency, not for scale. So a lot of brands or a lot of agencies, they'll hire what they call VAs from offshoring hubs, and they'll hire for urgency. They're not necessarily thinking, what is my brand or my operation going to look like in 5 years from now? They're just saying, what's the most urgent thing that I can get off my hands? And they'll hire for that. And then very quickly, they'll realize that their team is not being efficient, that the people that they hired are not producing what they hoped that they would produce. And they realize that there's a need for systems and process, but they don't actually have time to build those systems and to restructure the organization for scale the way that they would build it from scratch if they had the opportunity. So again, they hire for urgency, not for scale. And this is almost like a circuit, right? It's a circuit where they just keep on realizing that they need systems and process. They don't actually have time to build those systems and process. So then they just hire to solve the problem. And it's like this ongoing circuit until all of a sudden they implode and they either sell or they just say, you know what, I can't run this anymore. But there is another option, and that is working with Escala. We see ourselves very much as a circuit breaker, a necessary circuit breaker that can come in at this point when there's no time to systemize and restructure, and we can come in and say, hey, we can do that for you, or we can show you the path of how to actually build those systems for scale so that you don't need to take 5 steps back in order to take 10 steps forward. You only really need to take 1 or 2 steps back to take those 10 steps forward. And then all of a sudden, Escala can illuminate the path to delegate and automate, right? It's not that easy to just all of a sudden say, I'm going to delegate and automate. You really need a lot of back-end systems and process to be able to do that effectively. And that's where Escala comes in as that circuit breaker so that you don't need to implode. So throughout this course, we're going to show you the proven methods that we've built over the last 2.5 years, taking a lot of inspiration from high-level consulting solutions like McKinsey's and EY, and really customizing that to the e-commerce space. And that's what this course is all about. It's a step-by-step proven method. We hold your hand as you go and systemize your business. In the next video, I want you to go and look at what your business could look like at the end of this course once you're done self-implementing. We're going to walk you through the process maps, the SOPs, the ClickUp workflows, the ClickUp wiki, your organizational chart, accountability chart. We're going to give you a snapshot of what your business can look like in only 6 months from now.